Hey, hi all. In this video, we will be discussing about data skew in Salesforce. So first, we will look like what is data skew, and then what is data skew in Salesforce. And moving ahead, we will look what are the different types of data skew we have in Salesforce, and how we can avoid data skew in Salesforce. So let's start. First, what is data skew? Data skew primarily refers to a non-uniform distribution in a dataset. When we have large number of records in Salesforce and they are not uniformly distributed, at that time we face issues or performance issue in Salesforce that is known as data skew. The issue occurs due to data skew in Salesforce when we not uniformly distribute the records. So what is data skew in Salesforce? Data skew occurs when more than 10,000 child records are related to a single parent record, or more than 10,000 records of any object are owned by a single Salesforce user. For an example, we have an account and there are multiple contacts. If an account or if an account is having more than 10,000 contacts, that is nothing but the account skew. If we have custom object in and means like in place of parent we have any custom object, in place of child we have any custom object which is in relationship with parent child, that time it is called as a lookup skew, because all the custom records or all the custom child records will be looking at a custom parent record. So that is known as a lookup skew. So let's see what are the different types of data skew we have in Salesforce. So we have three different types of data skew in Salesforce: account skew, ownership skew, lookup skew. So we will start with account skew. Account skew is nothing but a data skew when you have a large number of child records present under a single account record. It means that as we have seen earlier in the example, like if we have more than 10,000 records or 10,000 account or sorry contact records related to a particular account, that is when there will be an account skew. What are the issues we have like when we have account skew? Like record locking, when we are performing update operation on any of the contact which is related to that particular account, that time we will face an issue, because if we are updating, suppose if we are updating 5 to 10 or 20 or 100 of contacts which are related to the same account, for the data integrity reasons each record we update in the Salesforce is locked. So if we are updating 5 contacts at a time, then 5 contacts are related to a single account record. If that particular account record is locked when a contact 1 is updating and contact 2 is also trying to update the same account record, at that time this issue will occur, the record locking issue will occur, and it will not be succeeded. Then we there might be a chance, so there this will happen, like sharing problems will also occur, because whenever we update any record in Salesforce, then this sharing settings will apply. They will check for the access and the sharing rule will run. They will recalculate all the things according to the access which what a user has, according to the roles he has or she has. So the sharing problems will also occur. How we can avoid this? We can avoid this by distributing child records across multiple accounts rather than accumulation on a single record. Having an even distribution of child records across parent accounts foolproofs our organization against performance hits due to account skew. Okay, so the next type is ownership skew. Ownership data skew is another type of data skew which is very common in Salesforce. This issue occurs when more than 10,000 records are owned by a single Salesforce user. If you are a Salesforce user and you are owning more than 10,000 records for a particular object, might be account, contact, or for an example, student is an object and you are owning a record, owning 10,000 student records, at that time you will be facing ownership skew. How you can avoid that? The best way to avoid this is even distribution of records among multiple users rather than having a single user for all. And if the owner must have a role, then try to keep the user on the top of the role hierarchy. This will avoid the user being passed around the role hierarchy, because every time we update something, the rules or the sharing rules will run, and they will recalculate on the basis of the role which we have in the role hierarchy. If it will be the top one, then it will be recalculated, but it will take less time than the expected. And uh, the best way is to not have a role to the particular user who is owning more records. So there will not be a chance, if you are updating that particular record, it will not follow, it will not go into that recalculation thing, because that role is not there with that particular user. Make sure that the user is not member of any public group which is acting as a source for a sharing rule. Okay. The third type is lookup skew. As we earlier seen in that example, lookup skew is similar to account skew but can affect a broader number of objects. This happens when a large number of records are associated with a single record in the lookup object. What are the possible ways to avoid this skew? One method is to distribute the skew across multiple lookup fields by providing additional lookup values to distribute the skew. Record log exceptions can be minimized or even eliminated. Remove unnecessary workflow rules or process builders on the object in order to reduce the record saving time. Also, make sure that the synchronous Apex code and triggers are well optimized. It means that you use the best practices which is there in the documents of Salesforce, then there will not be any issue, or the data skew or the lookup skew will not occur in your org. In case the number of lookup values is low and definite, if it is a definite number of values, then the best way to approach this is by just creating a pick list field and having that definite set of values as a pick list value. In that case, you will not be need, or you will not be in a need to create any lookup fields. Okay, that's all for data skew and the different types of data skew which we have in Salesforce. This is mostly asked in interview questions, like what is data skew, what are the different types of data skew, and how we can avoid data skew or account data skew, how we can handle it, or how we can avoid that ownership skew, how we can avoid that. So it will be helpful for you if you are preparing for upcoming interview. Thank you. Thank you.